They taught you to smile when you don't want to nod when you want to scream, to bend, to thank, to pretend that everything is fine. Every day they hand you a mask. Wear it, and you'll be safe. But it isn't safety, it's prison. Society doesn't want individuals. It wants order. It wants predictable workers, polite citizens, silent crowds. People who show up, play their role, and disappear quietly. And so you convince yourself it's normal to suffocate. You believe the price of peace is obedience, that silence is maturity, that obedience is wisdom. But silence is not peace. It's the slow death of everything you are. Look around you. The streets are full of faces, but none of them are alive. Automatic smiles, empty eyes, gestures on repeat. An endless masquerade. A parade of ghosts who traded their freedom for comfort. The mask feels safe. It makes you acceptable. It hides the parts of you the world doesn't want to see. But it also hides your soul. And the longer you wear it, the more you forget there's a face underneath. You were trained to fear freedom, to think rebellion is madness, to believe independence is dangerous. So you keep playing along, day after day, until you don't even notice the chains. Work, consume, sleep. That's the script they hand you at birth, and you call it life. But it isn't. It's survival dressed up as purpose. When was the last time you acted without permission? The last time you did something real, raw, and unscripted? If you can't remember, then you're not living. You're performing. And here's the trick. You even judge those who refuse the mask. The ones who walk differently, who speak too loud, who don't bow. You point at them, laugh at them, call them crazy. But deep down, you envy them, because they dared to do what you couldn't. That's how deep the obedience goes. You don't just wear the mask, you defend it. You attack anyone who threatens it, because their freedom reminds you of your chains. The truth is harsh. They don't need your thoughts. They don't need your fire. They only need your obedience. A silent body in a silent crowd. And that's all. And here's the part no one wants to admit. You love your mask. You cling to it like a child clings to a blanket. Because without it, you'd have to face yourself. And most of you can't stand what's underneath. So you obey. You hide. You tell yourself it's easier this way. And maybe it is. Easier to blend in. Easier to die unnoticed. But tell me, is easy worth your soul? You weren't born to bow. You weren't born to disappear. The world already has enough obedient shadows. What it lacks is people who dare to exist. The mask of obedience is comfortable, yes. It will protect you from judgment, from conflict, from risk. But it will also erase you, piece by piece, until there's nothing left to protect. So you have a choice. Remain another faceless actor in the crowd. Or rip the mask apart, endure the hate, the isolation, the struggle. But at least you'll be real. At least you'll be free. And don't get me wrong, freedom is not glorious. It's not applause, not medals, not standing ovations, but lonely nights. It's people calling you reckless, insane. It's carrying weight you never asked for, but it's real. And reality, even when it's brutal, is worth more than the sweetest illusion. The mask of obedience gives you a quiet death, but freedom gives you a loud life. And in the end, One scream of truth will echo longer than a lifetime of silence. You'll be hated for it. You'll be mocked, attacked, and isolated. And still, better to be hated for the truth than loved for a lie. The world has no shortage of actors. It has endless stages, endless performances, endless masks. But it has very few voices willing to break the script. And maybe that's what terrifies them the most. One voice, one refusal, one broken mask can wake the whole crowd. So what will it be? Safety or existence? Obedience or life? Because if you think you can keep both, you've already lost.